Hello and thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Olivia Dague.
And I'm Jessie Klinger. Tonight we begin with a business that is aiding the shortage of COVID tests in Norman. Kolby Terrell went to Emmy Labs this morning and joins us live with the details. Kolby?
Thanks, guys. This morning, Emmy Labs reopened their free COVID testing site, which will also run weekly from Sundays through Fridays. I was able to catch up with Sean Bauman, CEO and president of Emmy Labs, to talk about their reopening.
There's a need for testing, and Emmy Labs is happy that we get to fill it.
After the recent rise in COVID cases, many people were running into a roadblock.
So just challenges for families like mine and everybody else's having access to testing, finding testing.
Now, with the help of the state health department, testing at Emmy Labs is underway once more.
We have a contract with the state, so that's how we can provide this service free to all Oklahomans.
And some who were tested today shared how they felt about Emmy's return to testing.
When COVID first hit last year, the line was clear, down to 24th, and still we got in quick, got the results quick. They're professional, and I'm grateful that they're back.
To show you just how quick and easy Emmy Labs is making their tests, I got one myself. And Emmy Labs plans to keep their testing service running weekly. And in addition to COVID testing, right behind me, Emmy Labs is running a drive-through vaccine pod. Reporting live, I'm Kolby Terrell, OU Nightly.
To schedule a COVID test or vaccine, visit portal.emmylabs.com.
The Oklahoma Department of Health has reported over 1,000 new COVID-19 cases today. This brings the total active cases to more than 14,000, and total deaths have now surpassed 10,000.
And now we bring you an update from yesterday's shooting at a Kroger in Tennessee. CNN's Chris Nguyen has the latest.
Police have identified the gunman as 29-year-old UK Tang. He was a third-party vendor at the Kroger store behind me. Investigators now trying to piece together what led up to the shooting.
He kept on shooting.
A shocking outburst of violence inside a Tennessee grocery store.
He shot one of my coworkers in the head, and then shot one of the customers in the stomach.
A gunman opening fire at a Collierville Kroger Thursday afternoon, injuring at least 14 people and killing Olivia King.
I ask that you remember the King family in your prayers, and we were able to confirm that we have the number of shot is 15 now. They're in stable condition.
Law enforcement detailing new information about the shooter.
He was a third-party vendor for Kroger.
An FBI response team arriving Friday morning to aid in the investigation as law enforcement continues to look for a motive, saying they believe they're closer to having answers.
We're getting a clearer picture of what's occurred. We want to make sure that we dot the I's and cross the T's.
Officials now trying to reassure the shaken community as people come together to grieve.
I hope you all saw the number of people in this community that showed up to support yesterday. Whether it was local pastors praying, restaurant owners providing food, it is much appreciated.
Police tell us they're still in the process of combing through the crime scene. They expect to wrap up that part of the investigation by Saturday morning. We're in Collierville, Tennessee. I'm Chris Nguyen. Back to you.
For those in need of mental health support, call or text the Disaster Distress Helpline. The helpline provides immediate crisis counseling for those in distress from any natural or human-caused disaster.
At the Texas-Mexico border, the migrants have evacuated the refugee camp. Bailey Coyle has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
As of this afternoon, no Haitian migrants remain at the Texas border encampment. This morning, the mayor of Del Rio has reported that 144 remained in Texas but have recently been moved out. U.S. Customs and Border Protection facilities along the U.S.-Mexico border are at capacity or over capacity as officials try to process migrants from Del Rio. Some of those will be released on a case-by-case basis, while most will likely be expelled. Department of Homeland Security has declined to provide the number of migrants that have been released. And in Brooklyn, New York, jurors are now deliberating in R. Kelly's federal trial. Kelly has been on trial for racketeering and sex trafficking charges. The trial has been ongoing for 6 weeks with 50 witnesses in 3 days of closing arguments. The judge has not said how long she would let deliberations continue if no verdict has been reached by the end of the day. Kelly faces decades in prison if convicted of the main racketeering charge. And a new report confirms that President Biden defeated Trump in an Arizona election. The numbers come from a result of a partisan review in Maricopa County. The review found a vote that was nearly identical to what the county had reported last November. The draft reported showed that after the recount, Biden received 99 more votes than what was previously reported, and Trump received 261 fewer votes. And Olivia, President Biden has said he will not assert executive privilege to shield Trump-era records from being seen in the January 6th investigation.
Thanks, Bailey. And Jessie, the weather this week has been perfect, fantastic. It's the beginning to the perfect fall season.
No, I agree. It's so nice whenever I take my walk out at night. Amazing. Hayden Giller joins us live. Is the ideal weather going to stick around?
Yeah, Jessie, we have had a beautiful couple of days here on the University of Oklahoma campus, with fall temperatures coming a few days before fall actually began. If we look at the current temperatures across the state of Oklahoma, you can see that almost across the entirety of the state, we are sitting in the 80s. Now, unfortunately, these temperatures are not going to stick around forever. Looking ahead to the rest of the show, we're going to talk about how it's going to be a little bit warmer of a weekend, maybe a rain chance upcoming on the back end of that warm weekend, and, of course, OU football is back tomorrow. We've got a good football forecast for you. Jessie and Olivia?
Thanks, Hayden. A community event centered around those with special needs kicks off tomorrow in OKC. Enjoy food trucks, therapy dogs, and more, all for a great cause. We'll have all the details coming up.
And do you love sports? What about video games? If the answer is yes to both, we have the perfect club for you when OU Nightly returns.
I am a molder of young minds. As an undergrad, Taylor trained me as a writer. Now, as a master's student, I'm learning to impact others. Writers never stop writing. We are always learning and observing. I'm constantly taking in the world around me to build a better narrative. As a teacher, I hope to help my students do the same.
Being a freshman in college, I really don't know what to expect. There are so many paths ahead of me, but where am I supposed to go from here? Walking through the halls of Gaylord, I get a sense that big things are happening, a feeling of opportunity. I've been told that this is a place where I can be more than just a student. What does that really mean? I'm excited to find out.
I am more than just a student. I am a voice to be heard. Words are a powerful tool. With them, we make people laugh, think, and see the world from a different perspective. But words are ineffective without amplification. We ask the question, why should someone listen to us? With any topic, you need to find an effective way to present it. Something creative, something entertaining. Pair that with technology, and our words can impact the world.
This is you at OU. What will you learn? How will you excel? What path will you lead? Who will you impact? What will you do at OU?
The Down Syndrome Association of Central Oklahoma hosts their annual festival and 5K fundraiser tomorrow. The annual fundraiser has been going on for 27 years, but Sarah Sewell, the executive director of the association, says the festival is about much more than simply raising money. Sewell says the most important part is advocating.
I'll tell you, it's not always easy. It's not always sunshine and rainbows like, you know, everybody thinks it might be. It's hard, and we have to advocate, and we have to fight a lot. And, you know, we have to, you know, stand up for our kids because they sometimes can't advocate for ourselves, and we know them better than anybody else.
The festival takes place at the Myriad Gardens and will include food trucks, inflatables, therapy dogs, and much more. For more information, visit dsaco.org.
And esports at OU is rapidly growing. With over 2,000 members, it's the largest club on campus. The club is officially setting up shop in OU's cross-housing in Building B and plans to open a gaming lab by next semester. After 4 years of development, the club's budget is waiting for approval. And once their budget is finalized, the group will be able to pursue new opportunities. But competition isn't the sole focus.
Our goal hasn't been about winning national championships at this state. Right now, it's been about establishing a healthy culture that promotes good mental health, that promotes inclusivity, that promotes most of the strategic pillar initiatives that the university has already.
The club is looking for new competitors, from casual gamers to pros.
And after last year's hiatus, Fall Family Weekend returns. We'll tell you what to do with your loved ones before the big game after the break.
And Hayden gives us a look at next week's forecast. Weather is next.
I am more than just a student. I am a leader of future creative professionals. Advertising is a way a brand communicates to its audience. Businesses reach out to us constantly to make that possible. We are the source to facilitate communication. To be a resource, you have to think beyond yourself. I'm always asking, how can I help an entity achieve its fullest potential?
I am more than just a student. I am a molder of young minds. As an undergrad, Gaylord trained me as a writer. Now, as a master's student, I'm learning to impact others. Writers never stop writing. We are always learning and observing. I'm constantly taking in the world around me to build a better narrative. As a teacher, I hope to help my students do the same.
I am more than just a student. I rise to the possibilities of the future. It started with a media entrepreneurship class, which sparked an idea. That led to my own business. By itself, technology is just a tool, but add ambition, creativity, and motivation, that's a platform to start an enterprise. Now, I see the world through a different lens. I take tradition and I build upon it. The possibilities, they're endless. Where do I go from here? At the moment, up.
This is you at OU. What will you learn? How will you excel? What path will you lead? Who will you impact? What will you do at OU?
We have had some fall conditions here come pretty early. In fact, a few days before fall started here in central Oklahoma. Looking across the entire state of Oklahoma, we've got some 90s up in Woodward and Enid, but across the rest of the state, we are sitting in the mid 80s. And up in Miami, we're even down at 78. Here in Norman and Oklahoma City, we are at a calm 86 degrees. Now, if your parents are coming in for Parents Weekend, they have a beautiful night ahead of them to maybe go out to get dinner, maybe go on an evening stroll. If we look at the evening forecast, at 8 p.m. it'll be 74 degrees with a light wind out of the south, and we continue to cool through the overnight hours. 10 p.m. and midnight, 68 and 65 degrees respectively, with clear moonlit skies. Should be an absolutely beautiful Friday. Now, unfortunately, the fall temperatures that we've seen haven't brought us much rainfall over the last 30 days. In fact, Norman and Oklahoma City have seen just 1/10 of an inch of rain, and across the majority of the state, we are sitting at or near 1 inch of rainfall. Now, this should change this weekend, but we have some warm temperatures before that rainfall comes. If we look ahead to our radar forecast, we have this high pressure system sitting over the Great Plains right over Kansas City on Saturday afternoon. Now, high pressure provides sinking air, provides warm air is being pulled down and warming at the surface. And additionally, it inhibits rainfall from forming because rising air is needed for rainfall to form. As that high pressure system moves out, we get the high temperatures, we get the lack of rainfall, but then the low pressure system swings back down and provides some cool air and some rain maybe at the start of next week. Now, what rain am I talking about? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have slight rain chances, 40%, 50%, 40%. And again, with that rainfall, we have cooler temperatures behind it, 80, 85, and 80. And of course, we have a football game to talk about a little bit later. Isn't that right, Olivia and Jessie? Just in time for Fall Parents Weekend.
Thanks, Hayden. Well, Olivia, I'm happy that the rain is holding out for a few days because
Absolutely.
it is Fall Family Weekend.
Yes, after all the virtual events last year, I'm just so happy to get to hang out with my family in person. The annual weekend of activities is back in full swing with COVID-friendly events, including an escape room and trivia night. For the full schedule, visit CAC's website. Now, Jessie, my parents are coming to Norman this weekend, and I'm so excited to show them around campus. What about you?
Yes, my dad is in town, and tomorrow will be his first OU football game. And speaking of football,
Addie Crawford joins us with a sneak peek of what else is happening in the sports world. Addie?
Today on Big Friday Sports, we'll be staying close to home with some local Thursday and Friday night lights. Don't go anywhere because Big Friday Sports is right around the corner.
I am more than just a student. I set the rhythm for my own success. At a young age, I knew what I wanted to do. Coming to college provided me opportunities to grow a business. Here, I can combine creativity, advertising, networking, all to reach my audience through sound. I am passionate about creating the soundtrack for the next generation.
This is you at OU. What will you learn? How will you excel? What path will you lead? Who will you impact? What will you do at OU?
I am more than just a student. I am a voice to be heard. Words are a powerful tool. With them, we make people laugh, think, and see the world from a different perspective. But words are ineffective without amplification. We ask the question, why should someone listen to us? With any topic, you need to find an effective way to present it. Something creative, something entertaining. Pair that with technology, and our words can impact the world.
I am more than just a student. I am a reporter of truth and a combator of ignorance. The Founding Fathers set the precedents for us to follow. As a journalist, I have two jobs: keeping an eye on the systems we have in place and making sure that voices in the community are heard. As an editor, I want to inspire my staff to create great stories and to do the best journalism possible.
Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Amaya Ward.
And I'm Addie Crawford. Happy Friday, everyone, and you know what that means. It's game day eve.
That's right, Addie. The Sooners are taking on West Virginia at the Palace on the Prairie tomorrow night.
And it'll be the first Big 12 conference game for the boys, and it should be a pretty good one. Let's take it over to our Game Day U team to hear what fans can expect from this matchup.
What's up, Big Friday Sports? It's your Game Day U team here. I'm Caroline Grace alongside Will Blessing, and we're going to get you ready for kickoff against West Virginia tomorrow. Let's start out with our call-outs. Will, who do you have?
Yeah, so, these call-outs, typically they can be negative. I'm going to go a little bit more positive. I'm calling out Jaden Hazelwood. Now, this guy, he had a lot of hype coming into the squad. He was a 5-star recruit. Injuries have really hampered what he can do for the team. He's had a bit of a quiet season so far, but he's starting to build up. He had 2 scores against Western Carolina. He had 6 catches against Nebraska, and there's some pretty big plays. It's great to see him getting back into this offense and stepping up, especially since Marvin Mims is starting to get double teamed. OU needs more weapons, especially with Theo Weiss being out with an injury. So getting Jaden Hazelwood into the offense, fantastic. You're doing great, kid. Keep it up.
Well, I like that you turned that into a positive note to outweigh some of the negativity I have, because my call out is Brian Asamoah. I think last year we were able to see him turn into that dynamic player that he is on the defense, especially against Florida. He really stepped it up, but this year he's been a little bit quiet. I know it's early in the season, so that's expected, but now we're getting into conference play and there's no room for him to not be a leader in and outside of the locker room. Now, I think when it comes to score predictions, we're both going to take the winning side of this, but we'll take it away.
I agree. I'm going to go 28-14 OU. Biggest concern for this game, OU hasn't played West Virginia in over a year. This squad hasn't seen the Mountaineers. I don't believe they know really what to expect like they have in past. OU has a winning culture. I think they'll keep it up. It'll be a win for OU. They'll be 4-0.
3-0 is true, but the wins have not been that convincing. So I'm going to take 21-17 OU. I think the score is going to be close. I think West Virginia is more of a solid team than people are giving them credit for, and therefore I think they're going to show up. They have something to play for, and they want to leave Norman with a win. Absolutely. I think OU comes out on top, but I definitely have 21-17. And that's all we have for you today on Big Friday Sports, but be sure to watch Game Day U tomorrow, 8 to 9:30 for your Game Day show right here on the University of Oklahoma's campus.
The TCU Horned Frogs will battle against the SMU Mustangs for the 100th time tomorrow. A familiar face, Tanner Mordecai, has been a dynamite with the Mustangs after passing for 5 touchdowns in their last game. The Horned Frogs are looking to defend their home turf, kicking off at 11 a.m.
And staying in the Big 12, Texas Tech travels down to Austin to take on the Longhorns for an early bird 11 a.m. kickoff. And after that game, catch the 3-0 Baylor Bears as they host Iowa State at 2:30 tomorrow.
And for a midday pick-me-up, the Duke Blue Devils will host the Kansas Jayhawks at 3. Closing Saturday Night Football, K-State will face OSU, kicking off at 6.
And here on Big Friday Sports, we'll be staying local by spotlighting high school games in the area.
To kick us off, let's go underneath those Friday night lights for some football recaps.
Yeah, Friday night lights are great, but what about those Thursday night lights? Westmore was down 19-6 with 4 minutes left in the game before scoring this touchdown. With one final drive to go, they used this trick play on a 4th down to keep them in the ball game. But in the final seconds, quarterback Jacob Blyce was picked off in the end zone, sealing the win for Broken Arrow.
A battle of the Big Cats is happening in Moore tonight. The Moore Lions will go against the Southmore SaberCats. The Lions are currently 3-0, while the SaberCats are off to a sluggish start, having yet to win a game. Both teams are fresh off bye week and hungry for a dub. Kickoff is at 7.
And last but not least, in our high school spotlight, Noble and El Reno will battle it out tonight. The Bears have only dropped 1 game so far, while the El Reno Indians haven't been as lucky as they still look for their first win of the season. Kickoff is in Noble at 7.
Still to come on Big Friday Sports, the reigning champs have been set in stone. OU softball cements their 5th national title. Stick around for more.
I am more than just a student. I am a voice to be heard. Words are a powerful tool. With them, we make people laugh, think, and see the world from a different perspective. But words are ineffective without amplification. We ask the question, why should someone listen to us? With any topic, you need to find an effective way to present it. Something creative, something entertaining. Pair that with technology, and our words can impact the world.
I am more than just a student. I set the rhythm for my own success. At a young age, I knew what I wanted to do. Coming to college provided me opportunities to grow a business. Here, I can combine creativity, advertising, networking, all to reach my audience due sound. I am passionate about creating the soundtrack for the next generation.
I'm more than just a student. I'm a mirror up to society. Often people will watch a difficult story and then just turn away. I want others to see what people are going through, to understand the issues, and hopefully relate. Here we've been given the foundation and knowledge. Now it's up to us to build upon it, to find and tell the stories that interest us. Digital media provides the freedom to cultivate those compelling stories. We can take an audience places, meet people, and shine a light on their lives. And once we're there, pose a question that demands an answer.
I am more than just a student. I am a reporter of truth and a combator of ignorance. The Founding Fathers set the precedents for us to follow. As a journalist, I have 2 jobs: keeping an eye on the systems we have in place and making sure that voices in the community are heard. As an editor, I want to inspire my staff to create great stories and to do the best journalism possible.
A Saturday afternoon in Oklahoma gives me the opportunity to talk about two of Oklahomans' favorite things, football and weather. The Oklahoma Sooners take on the West Virginia Mountaineers, and the forecast couldn't be much better. A 6:30 kickoff, 83 degrees before cooling down into the 70s by the time the game ends. Now, I won't go so far as to forecast an OU win, but I'll say that I can forecast some good football weather for this weekend. Addie and Amaya, I hope that this weather suits well everyone who will be at the game.
Thanks, Hayden, for that game day forecast. West Virginia is coming in hot after a road game win, but how long has it been since they faced the Sooners?
Well, Addie, it's funny you ask. Last time the Mountaineers played OU, it was right here on Owen Field in 2019. The two took last year off thanks to COVID.
Obviously, this is the one game that we missed last year as far as playing in the conference, so it'll be good to get a chance to compete against these guys. They're playing at a very high level. Obviously, had a huge win last weekend against a very good Virginia Tech team. So this is a complete football team coming in here. Experienced quarterback, strong run game, and one of the top defenses in the country.
And Sooner soccer dropped their Big 12 season opener against Texas Tech Thursday night. The Red Raiders came out on fire with a total of 7 unanswered goals, 4 in the first period and 3 in the second.
OU hopes to bounce back Sunday as the Red River rival Texas comes to town. Be sure to come out for the 1 p.m. match time at John Crane Field.
OU softball might not have a spot on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but this will do. Their championship stone was laid this week at the north end of the football stadium.
And now on to Thursday night football, which didn't quite have us on the edge of our seats. The 3-0 Carolina Panthers took down the Texans 24-9.
Star running back Christian McCaffrey suffered a hamstring injury in the third quarter on a second-yard gain in the red zone. McCaffrey is expected to only miss a few weeks. The Panthers hope to keep their win streak alive in Dallas next week.
Thursday night football just couldn't get any better, especially with this trick play from the Marshall-App State game last night. Take a look at Marshall pulling off this flawless reverse kickoff that absolutely fooled App State special teams. This incredible trick play helped the Thundering Herd take the lead, but they couldn't quite seal the deal as the Mountaineers took the dub 31-30.
Thank you for tuning in to OU Nightly and Big Friday Sports. I'm Amaya Ward.
And I'm Addie Crawford. Be sure to watch Game Day U tomorrow bright and early at 8 a.m.
Have a great night and a safe game day.
We'll see you guys next week. Good night.